The maritime sector continues to witness dynamic strides towards development and collaboration. On today's edition of The Shipper, we'll spotlight two key events shaping Nigeria's maritime landscape. First, we'll bring you highlights from Abeokuta, Ogun State, where the Nigerian Shippers Council engaged with the Ogun State government on the Gateway Inland Dry Port project. A major milestone was achieved with the presentation of the Certificate of Compliance from the Infrastructure Concession Regulatory Commission, ICRC. Next, we take you to Lagos for the 2024 Annual Seminar and Conference of the Maritime Journalists Association of Nigeria, AMJON. The event brought together industry leaders to deliberate on critical issues impacting port efficiency and the sector's future. And later, stay tuned for the Tidbit segment with Idowu Ogungbemi, bringing you the latest updates in local and international maritime news. Details after this short break.
For more than 5 decades, we have empowered and protected the interests of shippers in the nation's maritime industry. Our focus is to facilitate trade, regulate tariffs and rates, as well as handle shippers' complaints on cargo losses, damage and non-delivery. We offer dispute resolution mechanism for shipping and trade disputes between shippers and service providers. We are Nigerian Shippers Council, Nigeria's port economic regulator, your gateway to a thriving maritime sector. Nigerian Shippers Council will meet you at the port of your need.
Welcome back to The Shipper, proudly brought to you by the Nigerian Shippers Council, the nation's port economic regulator. My name is Abike Ido. Our first feature takes us to Abeokuta, the capital of Ogun State, where a significant meeting took place between the Ogun State government and the Nigerian Shippers Council. His Excellency Governor Prince Dapo Abiodun welcomed Akuta Pius, the Executive Secretary and CEO of the Nigerian Shippers Council, along with his management team. The focus of their discussion was on advancing the Gateway Inland Dry Port project, a transformative infrastructure initiative aimed at boosting trade and logistics across the region. This report, compiled by Adesina Abiodun, is presented from our studio.
It was a momentous occasion as Akuta Pius, MON, the Executive Secretary and Chief Executive Officer of Nigerian Shippers Council, presented the Certificate of Compliance for the Gateway Inland Dry Port project to the Ogun State Governor, Prince Dapo Abiodun. The certificate was issued by the Infrastructure Concession Regulatory Commission, ICRC, for the project's outside business case. The Executive Secretary commended Governor Abiodun for his unwavering commitment to the development of the Gateway Inland Dry Port, which he described as a game-changer for the shipping industry. He emphasized that the project will bring shipping services closer to shippers in the hinterlands, significantly reducing the challenges posed by long-distance transportation to the ports in Lagos.
Your Excellency, I must bring to your attention also the issues of technology and automation of these critical infrastructures that we are developing. We will work together with you to see that at the end of the day, when this infrastructure is fully developed and operational, we will work together in terms of automating the processes to reduce human contact and ensure that the ease of doing business is promoted in Nigeria. In line with the directive of Mr. President, in this sector. We are looking at ways in which we can partner with different state governments, not only in terms of developing the inland dry ports, but also vehicle transit parks or areas, which we overall look at the issue of connectivity and movement of cargo across the hinterlands, not only in Nigeria but across Africa, since we are within the times we're living in the African Continental Free Trade Agreement area, where we are hoping that goods and services will move across Africa. And what will Nigeria do in terms of supporting trade that will come out from Nigeria to the rest of Africa?
The Executive Secretary also highlighted the importance of incorporating advanced technologies and automation in port operations to enhance efficiency and reduce human traffic at the ports. He noted that Nigerian Shippers Council is not only collaborating with Ogun State on the dry port project, but also on the development of the Vehicle Transit Area (VTA), another critical infrastructure.
Today, it is one thing to set up the ministry. It's another for the ministry to begin to play by the mandate that it is set up in terms of achieving the overall objective of which Mr. President has set up the ministry. Today, we are at the verge of passing a policy, adopting a policy for marine and blue economy in this country, which has never been the case before. That policy has looked at the issues of infrastructure in the sector, which is one of the things and the reasons why we are here today.
He further expressed his gratitude to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for establishing the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy, which he described as a pivotal step towards diversifying Nigeria's economy beyond oil. He also thanked the Honorable Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, His Excellency Adegboyega Oyetola, for his steadfast support for the dry port project. On the Council's bill, which seeks to transform Nigerian Shippers Council into the Nigerian Shipping and Port Economic Regulatory Agency, Akuta Pius highlighted that the bill has successfully passed the first and second reading. He called on stakeholders to continue supporting the bill's passage into law, as it would further improve port efficiency and help Nigeria become a regional maritime hub.
This is a major milestone that we have achieved today. There are other milestones ahead that we have to achieve. Like we agreed, we're going to set timelines, and we'll work within the boundaries of those timelines. Good enough, Mr. President has given us a marching order to ensure that we develop this critical transport infrastructure to support trade activities and initiatives, which is a policy of his government. And with that, we are all set, and we have received all the support from the Minister of Marine and Blue Economy. We have received the support of the ICRC, which are other partners in this regard. So the next stages will be meeting together with the Ogun State government, the ICRC, and other stakeholders to see how we can commence the journey.
In response, Governor Prince Dakpo Abiodun thanked the Executive Secretary and his team for the visit and recognized the significant contributions of Nigerian Shippers Council under his leadership. The governor praised President Tinubu for appointing a technocrat like Akuta Pius, noting that Nigeria has made remarkable strides in the maritime sector under his tenure. Governor Abiodun emphasized that the Gateway Inland Dry Port is vital for Ogun State, an industrial hub with numerous manufacturers who will benefit from the port services. He also stated that the development of the dry port will help alleviate congestion at the ports in Lagos.
We can tell our story and share with a lot of people how long we've been on this journey. And just in a matter of 1 year that you assumed office, this journey that we've been on for the past almost 4 years, you achieved that feat in just less than 12 months. This is what governance is about. This initiative is supported by the business case that if we're able to establish an inland port here, in line with the federal government's initiative of strengthening the rail line, so a rail line has connected us to Lagos and connected the port. That rail line goes all the way from the port through Lagos, through Ogun State, to your state, and is meant to go to Kano. If we're able to, rather than what obtains right now, where all the cargoes come into either Tinkan or Apapa ports, because of the traffic and the volume of cargo traffic, those ports have become extremely inefficient. At times, containers are there for the upwards of 30 to 60 days running demorages. Some of them are perishables, and by the time they finally clear them and bring them to Ogun State for processing, a lot of demorages and additional costs have been incurred. So our business case was that if we set up this inland dry port, the containers arrive, they don't need to be cleared in Lagos. They get put on the train, and the train brings them to the port, because an inland dry port is basically a port without a sea.
The governor further expressed his full support for the passage of the Nigerian Shippers Council's bill into law, recognizing its potential to revolutionize Nigeria's port operations.
What this will help us achieve is a state that will now go a long way into increasing its ranking on the Global Ease of Doing Business Index. Because we are the industrial capital of Nigeria, because of our very peculiar geographical location, which has earned us the appellation as a gateway state. We are the only neighbor that Lagos has. We are also neighbors to the West African sub-region through Benin Republic. We are neighbors to Oyo State, to Osun State, to Ondo State. And it is only through Ogun State that you can traverse from Lagos, go to the south-south or the southeast, or go to the rest of the country, either the northeast, north-central, or northwest. So we are the gateway to the hinterland of Nigeria. We occupy that very unique position. That explains why a lot of manufacturers have found us a convenient location to set up their concerns. We have the advantage of proximity to Lagos, busiest port, busiest airport. We also have the advantage of having a lot of gas reticulation in terms of pipelines, which has allowed for gas to energy, gas to power. Those two factors have made us the industrial capital. And that is why today, in less than 3 years, we have constructed a world-class international cargo passenger airport in Ogun State. World-class. By the time we finish installing all our equipment, which should be sometime maybe middle of February to end of February 2025, that airport unarguably will be the best equipped airport in Nigeria, the best, not one of the best. This speaks to our commitment, our level of intentionality in ensuring that we provide efficient modes of transportation in Ogun State, knowing that we are the state that's connecting Lagos to the rest of the country.
In another key development, the Maritime Journalists Association of Nigeria, AMJON, recently held its 2024 annual seminar and conference in Lagos, where key industry stakeholders discussed pressing issues affecting Nigeria's maritime sector. At the event, Akuta, represented by Mr. Rotimi Anifowose, Director of Strategic Planning and Research, highlighted the importance of the Port Economic Regulation Bill in achieving port efficiency. He also shared insights into the major achievements of Nigerian Shippers Council in 2024, including the commissioning of the Funtua Inland Dry Port and the signing of minimum standards for maritime workers.
Bill, when passed into law, will empower the Council to effectively perform its regulatory function in the port sector. I can tell you that the bill as of now has been done concurrently by the House of Representatives and the Senate. We are trusting, and we are, by this moment, we are calling on everybody's support to assist, to join us in making sure that the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces assent to this bill to make it an act that will really be very instrumental in the realization of the renewed hope agenda within the industry.
Dr. Abubakar Dantosho, Managing Director of the Nigerian Port Authority (NPA), represented by Lagos Port Manager Mr. Debo Lawal, also spoke at the conference, focusing on the MPA's efforts to modernize Nigerian ports to make them more user-friendly.
Nigeria is blessed with a coastal line of about 853 kilometers, numerous inland waterways, and is strategically positioned to enhance the potential of its blue economy. Each sector of the blue economy include maritime transportation, fisheries, energy resources, tourism and recreation, seabed mining. These sectors hold immense promise for economic and sustainable development.
In addition, Assistant Comptroller General of Customs Dera Nnadi, former Customs Area Controller of Tinkan Island Port Command, praised maritime journalists for their essential role in enhancing port operations and ensuring the smooth flow of goods through Nigeria's ports.
One thing I would want us to encourage is to always put data and statistics that can be substantiated whenever we want to establish opinions like this. But at the same time, we must acknowledge most of our cross-border trade are largely unreported. Please, it is not every activity that goes on there that should be attributed to smuggling. There are legitimate trades going on between Nigeria and her neighbors under the ECOWAS trade liberalization scheme, under other legitimate platforms of trade. I must congratulate Nigeria as a country, providing the economic fork under which the rest of the sub-region, West and even Central Africa survive on.
Mr. Kelvin Kagbari, the newly elected president of the Association of Maritime Journalists of Nigeria, AMJON, spoke about the association's commitment to working closely with stakeholders to drive progress in the maritime sector.
The mandate of AMJON, just like your own mandate, has not changed. What is going to be different is the modus operandi. You know, every leader has his own style. So there will be changes, there will be some little amendment in the way we operate. But the agenda, the mission, and the vision, they remain the same. So our priorities are to work with the agencies in a collaborative manner that will benefit the agency and also benefit our members. So it's going to be a symbiotic relationship of mutual benefit, both to the association and to maritime stakeholders, such as Shippers Council, MPA, and the rest. So we called the maritime agencies today to come and tell us what is new. From everything we heard today, not much has changed, except for the Nigerian Shippers Council, that is seriously, eagerly, determinedly working to make a difference in the industry. We appreciate the ES, Barrister Pius Akuta. He has made a difference in such a short time. Their contributions to the economy is immense. Now the man is at the National Assembly trying to bring that bill to pass, to strengthen the council so that the council can be more effective in its regulatory functions.
The Nigerian Shippers Council continues to set the pace in driving innovative solutions and partnerships that enhance Nigeria's maritime landscape. With strategic initiatives like the Gateway Inland Dry Port and impactful engagements such as the AMJON Seminar, the Council reaffirms its commitment to fostering growth and efficiency across the sector. Now, let's switch gears and catch up on the latest developments from the maritime world with Idowu Ogungbemi on Titsbit. Over to you, Idowu.
Thank you, Abike. Hello and welcome to the Titsbit segment of The Shipper. I am Idowu Ogungbemi. Let's get into today's top stories. The Nigerian Shippers Council Complaint Unit, led by Bashir Ambi, recently visited the Apapa Custom Command to strengthen collaboration in resolving customs-related complaints. Key issues raised during the visit included multiple allottees on auction cargoes, non-compliance by custom license agents, and lapses in port processes. Bashir emphasized the importance of synergy to support trade facilitation and the federal government's ease of doing business policy.
There is a port service support portal. It's an online complaint handling platform developed by Nigerian Shippers Council to settle and amicably resolve all infractions in the industry. Timeline, real time, whereby all stakeholders are profiled there. As complaint is coming against, for instance, maritime police, the IIG or other officers' profile are there, and they will be able to see. And if it is against any shipping company, terminal operator, off-dock, stakeholder, like other truckers and rest, they have been captured as well. Everybody will be seen. That will facilitate the period to which complaints will be handled. We are requesting for 2 officers' name to be given to us.
The Custom Area Commander, Controller Babatunde Olomu, assured full cooperation and promised prompt action.
Apapa Area Command occupies a very strategic position in the Nigerian Customs Service. It's seen as the premier port, and aside that, the bulk of the revenue for that accrues to the federal government from the Nigerian Customs Service comes from Apapa. In fact, Apapa Command on its own is expected to contribute about 50% of the Nigerian Customs Service revenue. The issues you highlighted, they dovetail around the area of trade facilitation. Exactly. And it's very important that we address these issues so that there will be a sort of seamless operations by stakeholders and other partners. I want to assure us that with the arrangement the CGC had put on ground, sincerely, we will not hear of double or triple allocation going forward.
The visit highlights ongoing efforts to enhance efficiency within Nigeria's maritime sector. Now, let's take a quick look at this week's complaint register. The Nigerian Shippers Council has received 10 complaints, 6 of which have been resolved, while 4 are still under investigation. These complaints cover issues such as false declaration, extortion, processing delay, overcharge, and refund refusal. For more information or to lodge a complaint, we encourage stakeholders to visit our website at www.shipperscouncil.gov.ng. Now, let's switch gears to international maritime news. China COSCO Shipping Specialized Carriers has launched a new weekly route offering a safe and fast sea transport option to Africa. The first voyage departs from Qingdao, China, and is expected to arrive in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, in about 20 days. Africa remains a key partner in China's Belt and Road Initiative, and COSCO Shipping has already transported about 14 million tons of cargo for this initiative in 2024. The company hopes these new routes will make Qingdao a key hub for business development in North China. Spanish state-owned shipbuilding group Navantia has successfully completed its acquisition of Island and Wharf Shipyard. The £70 million deal ensures the future of key locations including Belfast, Appudo, Anish, and Melton, safeguarding around 1,000 jobs. The UK government has also revised a £1.6 billion contract for Fleet Solid Support Ship, with Navantia taking the lead of the project. Business Secretary Jonathan Reynolds confirmed that this deal will secure jobs for years, not months, though union leaders have urged caution and attention to details. And that wraps up this week's edition of Titsbits on the Shipper. Thank you for watching.
For more than 5 decades, we have empowered and protected the interests of shippers in the nation's maritime industry. Our focus is to facilitate trade, regulate tariffs and rates, as well as handle shippers' complaints on cargo losses, damage and non-delivery. We offer dispute resolution mechanism for shipping and trade disputes between shippers and service providers. We are Nigerian Shippers Council, Nigeria's port economic regulator, your gateway to a thriving maritime sector. Nigerian Shippers Council will meet you at the port of your need.
Now, this is where we'll wrap up today's edition of The Shipper. Thank you for staying with us as we explored these impactful stories from Nigeria's maritime sector. Don't forget to follow us on social media at NG Shippers for updates. Join us again next week for another exciting edition. Until then, stay safe and have a great week ahead. Goodbye.